Yo, what is up, you charismatic camera ups? Today we're playing some games with Malamar Aerodactyl. So I finally got around to trying this deck out, and I was actually pretty impressed by kind of the power of Aerodactyl. It took me a while to actually start playing around and giving this guy a shot, but once I did, I was pleasantly surprised. So this is the list that I've been running around with. I have an Onyx in here because against the Pikarom matchup, it's hard to get this guy to be able to one-shot a Pikarom. So I like the idea of the one of Onyx. Have yet to hit a Pikarom with it, but maybe we'll hit one today and we can put this Onyx to use. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say on the list. I mean, the card's pretty good. 180 damage if you don't have any GX or EXs on your bench. We don't play any GX or EXs, so that'd be pretty much impossible. I'd be surprised if one ever found its way onto our bench. Then we use Malamar to just kind of be able to potentially chain them. Some matchups we use the Giratina as our one prize attacker. The distortion door damage is sometimes nice as well. We need like some combination of damage between Shrine and Distortion Door to make it so the Fossil Fangs can actually take a one shot. Yeah, but besides that, it's pretty much a basic Malamar engine. We're a little bit light on the Pokemon search because we have to fit the Aerodactyl line into the deck. So we're only on 2 treasure instead of like 4 treasure, 2 nest ball, 4 ultra ball. It's just the 2 treasure, 2 nest ball, 4 ultra ball. And we do want the nest balls because we want to be able to find Ditto as aggressively as possible, because that can become an Aerodactyl, because we only have one fossil excavation map, which has been fine, just the one of to find the unidentified fossils. Then also nest ball to find Jirachi is also super nice. So we're a little bit lighter on the treasure, but it's been fine so far. So let's go ahead and let's get into some games and we'll see how it runs. To another one here, we're going second, and unfortunately open the Mars Shadow, but our hand is pretty good besides that unfortunate setback. Let's get a look at what our opponent's playing here as they're playing out the Nest Ball. Ooh, a Zygarde deck. A Zygarde with the Jirachi engine. Interesting, interesting. So we can one-shot the Zygarde with the Aerodactyl. So this has to be a pretty good matchup, I would assume, as long as we are able to set up. That's always the first step with Malamar decks is set up your Malamars. Worry about everything else later. Oh no, we're getting let loose. So, well, not for sure, I guess. Most likely. I'm going to be getting let loose here, though. The worst part about that is we opened our own let loose, so that's one less out we have off of our opponent's let loose to potentially do anything on our turn. So yeah, the let loose is a pretty big deal. They maybe aren't going to let loose now. The Stellar Wish before let loosing is usually not the play. Yeah, now they're let loosing. You usually want to save your Stellar Wish for after let loose, to make sure you can like find stuff. All right, we got a Jirachi, so we're not out of it yet. We have a skateboard to get into the Jirachi and an NK, so we are chilling for right now, but nothing's guaranteed yet. Could still be in big trouble. So phone grabs here. Cynthia, sure, that's kind of cool. Cynthia's kind of cool. Cool card, and probably gonna be a pass over to us now. Can't imagine they got much more going on in that hand. They already attached for turn. 2 Jirachis, this. Maybe debating benching another Pokemon. Their bench is kind of clogged up. Really just this one Zygarde to potentially deal with right now. So once we deal with that, it might be tough for our opponent to actually move past it. Yeah, alright. What are we looking at here, bud? Alright, there we go. Finally passing. Alright, here we go. That's for us. There's a Guzma, not great. So we really need this Stellar Wish to really pull through for us as far as a draw supporter goes. There's a Cynthia. Would have preferred a Lily, but not going to complain. Would rather be drawn than dead drawn. So here we go. Cynthia looking for some unidentified fossils or the Ditto. There's the excavation map. No. Wow. All right. Nothing else great going on in this hand. I'm gonna go ahead and put down the unidentified fossil, and I'm gonna switch into the Mars Shadow to protect the Jirachi here. Actually, go ahead and throw down the Psychic Energy over the DCE because they do have Guzma knockout. I'd rather lose a Psychic than a double colorless energy and pass over to our opponent. Yeah, so we're switching the Mars Shadow into the active to protect the Jirachi. We can't have that getting knocked out, because then we potentially just lose the game because we would be bricking. So yeah. Hopefully our opponent does not have Guzma here and either has to knock out the Mars Shadow, which actually they can't knock out Mars Shadow quite yet. They are doing exactly 70 damage with the Diancie plus the Zygarde, so they're actually not knocking out Mars Shadow yet. I'm sure they're looking for a Guzma here. There's the Guzma. All right, so I have a feeling our unidentified fossil will be getting knocked out here. We'll see what they go with for sure. Yeah, so our Jirachi lives though, so that's good for us. We almost kind of like are more content with our opponent knocking out the unidentified fossil than the Jirachi here. The Jirachi is a little bit more important for us to keep, seeing as we have no draw supporter in our hand. All right, this Stellar first. There's a Lily. All right, so we're gonna go bench unidentified fossil, evolve to Malamar, attach DCE to unidentified fossil, and then hopefully from there we start cruising. We'll see. Lily for 5. Would like some more unidentified fossils. All right, these both work. And I'm just gonna go ahead and Psychic Recharge right now to the unidentified fossil. If he has another Guzma, he has another Guzma. Oh well. Let's make him have the Guzma. That's fine with me. Another Malamar next turn. Have an Aerodactyl finally. So we're finally, things are finally looking up for us. Took us a little while to get here, but now we're just chilling. Sledgehammer, a little bit annoying, but we can definitely deal with it. With the Diancie, it will knock out. Actually, no, he'll be 10 damage short. So he'll need to find Beast Energy if he plays it, which I would not be surprised if he doesn't. Or he'll have to find, what's it called? A Kukui, if they play that. I would expect the Kukui more so than the Beast Energy. Malamar, Aerodactyl, and then Lily for 4, looking for a choice band. There it is. All right, we are more than just in business. We're cruising now. DCE to the Ditto to become another Aerodactyl, and then hit him with the Fossil Fangs for the knockout on the Zygarde GX. Yeah, Aerodactyl super good against GX based decks like this Zygarde deck that our opponent's playing. There's another DCE, another unidentified fossil. So we have plays for turns coming up here. Good, best of luck to our opponent being able to deal with us at this point. Now that we're fully set up, Aerodactyls are cruising. They are a GX-based deck, and I don't think they can deal with a streamline of Aerodactyls very well. But I'm down for them to surprise me with some other techs. Nope, there's just another Zygarde. Like I said, don't think they're gonna have a lot of fun in dealing with a streamline of Aerodactyls. But we'll see. We'll see. Give them the benefit of the doubt here. Some Stellar Wish is gonna go on. Guzma would obviously be best here to bring up this Zygarde. If not, we'll probably just be retreating this Aerodactyl to a new Aerodactyl, using that Aerodactyl, saving us the choice band, because we need the choice band to one-shot the Zygarde GX. Without the choice band, we actually don't one-shot the Zygarde GX, so we want to save that for then. There we go. Here's the Sledgehammer. Not quite going to be a knockout unless they have Kukui or Beast Energy. I don't think there's anything else that really works. They are setting themselves up though, so if I do chase the Zygarde, that the Buzzwole would still be able to take some knockouts to do some damage. But yeah, that's fine with me. Let's see our draw for turn. Another Fossil, Ultra Ball away Onix, and Psychic. And there's a Concede from our opponent. Not surprised. That one was way out of their control. I mean, that's the power of the Aerodactyl. Like, super good against these heavier GX-based decks. We get a pretty convincing win there over that Zygarde deck. Off to a pretty decent start in this one. We're playing against a Sylveon deck. Alright. So that should be no problem to beat, I feel like, for the Malamar Aerodactyl. Just want to conserve our switches for sure. Definitely want to conserve those. And I feel like from there it should be a pretty easy roll. We'll see though. I'm not too familiar with everything that's going on in the current Sylveon build, so it's very possible I get stumped by something unexpected. I feel it's also very possible we just get a turn 2 knockout here on the Sylveon. We'll see how it goes. We do have the unidentified fossil and a DCE. So very possible we'll just get a turn 2 knockout here on this Sylveon. Gonna grab the treasure here. Oh, did I want that actually? I could have taken the skateboard instead actually. I think that would have been a little bit better. Just eyeing up the treasure for the Inkay. But I feel like the other thing would have been a little bit better actually. Maybe it's close. Alright. Go ahead and pass over to our opponent. See what they got going on. We have the choice band as well, so we pretty much already have a knockout as long as we can find some stuff. As long as we can find a way to move our active, which might just be DCE retreat. But we should probably look for a switch card instead. We also have the Let Loose, which I think I might open up the turn with. Because our opponent is going to be Magical Ribboning. I don't see a reason for us not to go ahead and disrupt that. and then go for the knockout on the following turn. This should be a pretty easy roll, I think. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to come up with ways for the Sylveon to potentially beat us, and I can't quite come up with anything. Yeah, even the Vileplume isn't going to stop us, because we are attacking with the Aerodactyl. So, yeah, I think this one's going to be a pretty easy roll here. Yeah, I don't think we're ever losing this one. Aerodactyl is just too strong against these mill decks. They don't got anything on Aerodactyl, that's for sure. We'll let them go through their motions, though. The magical ribbon and such. I think this one's going to be pretty easy, though. I was like waiting for it to show me what they got, but yeah, that's not quite how that one works. Malamar. Choice band here, and then let loose. 2, 3, 4. So that's gonna be the knockout. Don't need to do anything else. Not gonna even bench that. I don't think we could bench it. Yeah, actually, I changed my mind. Let's bench it. We can always just discard it if we want. I don't think we need all 4. Psychic recharge, and we got the escape board. But I think I want to get the energy off the Jirachi actually, so I'm just gonna hard retreat. Get that into the discard pile, and then Fossil Fangs for the knockout here on the Sylveon. They've got an Oddish, but Oddish I don't think is going to quite cut it in this scenario. They're going to need a little bit more than that. They may be pulled pretty well off the let loose. We will see. They would need something. I don't know. They would need something along the lines of like Eevee, Fairy, Guzma, Malamar. But even then, we just have the switch to get out of it. Yeah, there's the pass and Fossil Fangs to clean this one up. Yeah, Sylveon is definitely no match. I don't think any of the control decks are any match for the Aerodactyl. He just hits a little bit too hard, a little bit too efficiently, I feel like. And we have enough switch cards to kind of never have anything get stuck in the active. Into a final game here. We're up against a Jirachi deck. No idea what kind. I'm going to assume an electric type deck. They got the Pikarom deck box. They got the Pikarom sleeves. They got the lightning energy. They basically got it all except the Pikarom in play. We got a pretty decent start here. Got the Lily. Got the DCE, got the Choice Band, got the Onyx. Alright, so we are playing against some kind of probably Pikarom build. Excuse me. I'm gonna get rid of these. We're gonna get the I was gonna get the Ditto. But instead we're gonna get this, I think. Yeah. I do want to keep the Stretcher. We have something to attach to, so it's not that big of a deal. And then Billy for 7 here. I'm gonna attach. We can't attach retreat. That's right, because we already attached. All right, so it's gonna be a little bit of a slow start for us in this one, I think. Our opponent not off to too much better though. Ultra Ball, Zapdos, chillin'. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, not a whole ton going on. There's a Guzma from our opponent, so I assume our Jirachi is going down here. Well, I mean, maybe that was the only thing for them to really take. So maybe not, actually. Initial assumption was Jirachi's going down. It's interesting that they got rid of 2 lightning energy, but then didn't have a 3rd lightning energy to attach to the Zapdos. So if their hand is really that backed up, I would have assumed they would have Ultra Ball away something else so they have a lightning to attach to the Zapdos. Despite the poor Stellar which is going on. Alright, so our opponent... I would say definitely playing suboptimally here, but I guess I don't know their hand for sure. Go ahead and play the Cynthia here. We're looking for a fossil. That's not a fossil. Maybe we can find one off of this Jirachi. Stellar Wish. There we go. That's just what I was looking for. A fossil, fossil map. I guess is as good as a fossil, right? Let's go ahead and get ourselves a fossil. Not gonna let loose because our opponent's been drawn rather poorly. We're not drawing that spectacular ourselves, but at least we're like setting up turn to turn. Our opponent is kind of yeah, just definitely not doing that, not setting up at all turn to turn. Yeah, we're not like light years ahead of our opponent or anything. I'm not even that far ahead of our opponent at all, actually, really. They can start taking knockouts this turn, and then from there, as long as they find like a draw supporter here or something, can just keep snowballing it from there. There's an Ultra Ball, so we might see them finally grab a, you know, let loose, maybe a Lele. There's the Guzma. Gonna go ahead and take out our unidentified fossil. This is fine with me. I just have to kind of deal with it. And then there's the Ultra Ball. I wonder if they'll finally go for like a let loose or something here. They are running Coco GX. So as far as we know, it could still just be like a straight Zapdos build. We haven't seen the Pikaroms or anything like that yet, but there's a Lele, so that suggests Pikarom almost for sure. So from here on out, I'm playing like it's a Pikarom deck. Once you see a Lele, a GX, besides the Coco GX, because Coco GX is kind of just used as a closer for the most part in like the straight Zapdos decks. Once you see the Lele, you should kind of just assume that it is in fact a Pikarom build. Pikarom build. Alright, go Jirachi. Yeah, like I said though, we're not actually like that far ahead of our opponent. That is a good top deck though. I guess we're gonna be let loose in this turn. Gonna go ahead and grab ourselves a Shrine, put down the unidentified fossil, gonna attach to the fossil as well, put down the Shrine, and then let loose. Not spectacular, but better than nothing, I guess. I don't know. Nothing isn't that bad sometimes. Alright, not much else to do. I think it's gonna be pass over to our opponent. Yeah, very little going on still on our side of the board. Like I said, we're not off to that spectacular of a start. Slow into getting the Aerodactyls out. The Onix is not very good against the Zapdos, so we've kind of slowed down on setting up him. There's his Zeraora. That'll be nice for Onix to potentially eventually pick off. Getting that utilizing that free retreat immediately out of the Zeraora, moving that Zap guy to the bench, and then hitting up that Stellar Wish. Let's see what they get. Is going to be a Cynthia. Okay. And then switch back into the Zapdos. So goodbye, Jirachi. For sure. I guess we'll probably Nest Ball for the other Jirachi. Set up the March out on Nest Ball for our other Jirachi. Switch into it. Unless our top deck drastically changes that idea. But I doubt it will. So that's the play we're looking at right now is Nest Ball for a new Jirachi, switch into it, and then hopefully finally be able to set up something to attack with through the Stellar Wish plus Cynthia. There's the Pikarom finally. So yeah, they are playing a Pikarom deck. Confirmed now as we see the Pikarom. It was pretty much confirmed when we saw the Zeraora, but sometimes the Lightning decks just play the Zeraora. So the Pikarom 100% confirms that there's Pikarom in the deck. Zeraora not quite 100% confirming it, but the Pikarom on the other hand, that does confirm it. Alright, Malamar is pretty cool. And then, like I said, I think I'm going to grab a Jirachi and switch into it. Really not fully set up yet. Like I said, it's kind of taking a little while for us to get there. But we're getting there. It's just taking time. Alright, this isn't really that helpful at all. Another Malamar is kind of cool. Stellar Wish. Found a switch. I'm not even sure the switch is that good. I think the Guzma is a little bit better here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Guzma, and I kind of want to hold the 2 DCEs. Debating this right now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and Psychic Recharge to the Marshadow, make that become a free retreater. And I think I'm just gonna pass and hold the DCEs because I don't really know where I want to put them yet. I mean, if I can go attach to Onix Guzma, knock out Pikarom next turn, I'm gonna go for that. But it really just kind of comes down to how our opponent's turn plays out. So we just kind of have to wait and see what our opponent does before we really commit to any kind of play, I feel like. So we'll see how their turn goes. Once again, we're not in the best of spots, but like they do have a lot of GXs and EXs in play, so can go pretty well from here for sure. We have the prize advantage. As long as we're able to attack from this turn on, I don't think we can go another turn without attacking, but as long as we can attack next turn on, I think we'll be in a fine spot. Yeah. That's pretty much all we gotta do. Gotta be able to make sure we can draw some prizes next turn, and I think we'll be good to go. There's an energy switch. So it looks like the Pikarom is gonna be hitting us. Ooh, there's the Let Loose. I really wanted to hold this hand, but there it goes. That's fine, that's fine. I'm sure we'll be able to find something reasonable off this. Never mind, never mind. The hand is now trash. Yikes. Alright, well, sending up Jirachi first. I guess that means they probably have a switch card in hand, and then I'm sure the Pikarom will be making its way to the active and shutting us out of this game. There's an escape rope. I'd be fine if the escape rope happens, because then that means we probably get to preserve the Jirachi. There's the escape rope. We're just going to push up the March Shadow here. 100% fine with this. We can now use Stellar Wish. Oh, they are getting the KO with Zapdos, though. I'm still fine with this, I guess, yeah. I have to be fine with this. I don't really have a choice at this point. Go Jirachi. Oh, and we can finally attack this turn. Let's see what our top deck is. Choice Band, not great. We're going to go ahead and thin out the deck a little bit here. Grab the Inkay. Using another treasure won't thin out the deck by any more, so we're just gonna go ahead and Stellar Wish first here now. Only have access to a Guzma and are currently unable to attack. Actually, we can attack. We can discard this. So not a super efficient attack here, but better than nothing. We're gonna be able to draw 3 prizes, get ourselves a little bit more set up to potentially be able to close out this game. We don't really we have Giratina, I guess, as a follow-up attacker past that. We will be benching this Inkay just in case we pull that 3rd Malamar out of the prizes. Alright, so we're still in it. We're still in it. Drawing 3 prizes here. Going to be a big deal with this Land Crush. So yeah, like I said, we have to at least draw prizes this turn, which we are able to do to keep us in the game. So we're still in it. Ditto's cool. Malamar's cool. Shrine is okay. No draw supporters still, so I don't know if we're going to be able to make that work. How many switch cards do we have left here? We have a lot. We have 2 Escape Board, 2 Switch, 2 Guzma. So we have a whole ton of options available still. Our opponent hits us with the well played. They have 3 prizes left. Is there a way they could actually win this turn? Now I'm curious about that. There's an Aether Paradise grab from them. That's fine with me. We have the Counter Stadium in hand immediately, so the Shrine pull gonna pay off here as we got it out of the prizes. Getting that Shrine here is gonna be pretty good. There's an Absol, definitely annoying, but not impossible to deal with. There's a switch from our opponent. We'll see if they have the double E power or not. There's 1 E power. The double E power would be a pretty big deal, but it looks like no to the double E power. It's gonna give us another turn. So now we can we don't have to take a knockout this turn. It would still be nice to, but not necessary any longer because our opponent, check this one more time. All right, our opponent didn't get a knockout themselves. All right, so this is gonna evolve. I think we are gonna hard retreat this Onyx, but we can't because of the Absol. So we can Land Crush it, and then he can poke us, knock us out next turn. So we may as well bench this. Yeah, bench this to potentially set up an Aerodactyl. Huh. I guess we're just stuck. Land Crush for 100. Yep, nothing else to do, actually. Alright, well, if we get a Guzma, or if this thing stays on the bench, we can actually knock it out eventually with Giratina, which is kind of cool. So depending on our top deck, we could make a play where we go if we top deck like an energy, we could go Psychic Recharge, get a Guzma off Stellar Wish, Guzma up a GX, attack it with Aerodactyl while first using Tina to knock out the Zapdos. So we can make a play like that happen potentially, which is pretty cool play we can set up. But we have to top deck energy, which is actually not even that unlikely. Play 10 energy, only 3. We've seen more than 3 energy, we just haven't put any more in play. So that means there's 7 energy left between the prize cards in the deck out of 25. That's like a pretty good chance to actually top deck an energy. We have 2 Guzmas left, and it'll be a 21 card deck. So there's actually a reasonable chance we actually also can find a Guzma off the Stellar Wish. So we could actually definitely win this turn as long as we find a energy off the top here. Not quite. Alright, Stellar Wish. Found the Cynthia, which is pretty cool though.
Are you finished? No, I'm just getting warmed up.
I don't think I any longer need this. Gonna fail it. Might want the Stretcher still though, so we're gonna keep that. Put this down, and then we're gonna Cynthia for 6 out of 21. Looking for a switch and an energy. Perfect, we've done it. Attach Psychic Recharge. And then I'll also Psychic Recharge once to the Fossil. Definitely possible to be beneficial. We can switch into the Aerodactyl and knock out. Oh, maybe I actually should have saved that second Psychic Recharge to put it on the Jirachi. But I could always actually send up the Jirachi instead anyways. This is still fine, I think. Yeah, the Stretcher left as well. Alright, I don't think there's any possible way for our opponent to win on the next turn. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this down on the Jirachi. I don't see a reason to not throw it down on the Jirachi. And then Fossil Fangs. Instead I could have put the Psychic Recharge on the Jirachi, I guess. This is still fine though. We're chilling. Should be able to set up the knockout on the next turn. This thing should get knocked out. If it doesn't, then we just Guzma knock out one of the GXs. If it does, we have the Stretcher for it. Attach Guzma, knock out one of the GXs. So no matter what happens, currently with the way the board is currently set up, we have the win next turn. Just need to execute it. I guess what could happen is our opponent could go like Ace Roll, or they couldn't max potion it. They could Ace Roll a Lele, knockout active, and then we would actually currently be stuck. But if that does not happen, then we have the win no matter what. Looks like a GX will not be making its way into the active. Looks like they're going to go with the Zapdos knockout here. Oh, no, actually, they're fully setting up the... Oh, no, but they have Thunder Mountain. So, yeah, probably going to be going with a knockout with Zapdos here. They're using Lily, so they're hoping to draw an E-Power off of that Lily. They played 1 so far, so they're just hitting us for 110. Not quite going to cut it for our opponent. And, yeah, we're going to be able to get the dub here. Both of us, both me and my opponent had super slow, awkward starts, but it built up eventually and got that early KO on the peak round before they could utilize it. I think that was the big turning point for us to be able to take this game. And that's going to do it for this video on the Malamar Aerodactyl deck, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Coming at you with new videos soon. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and peace.